they're ready to come off that tree. That's how the movie stars and those, because heaven is here right here on the earth, power and authority. Go ahead. The stars, let's get that. And let's start talking about the stars in the sky, because they never gonna come out their place. They never. Look at Ecclesiastes 43 and 9. That you know that you ain't seeing no star that the Most High put in the sky, moving any kind of way at all, or read this, or gonna fall from their position that they're in, where the Most High put them, as He put them in the sky on the day that He put them in the sky. Let's read it.
Ecclesiasticus chapter
43, verse 9.
43, verse 9. The beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of the Most High, at the commandment of the Holy One.
Listen at this. At the commandment of the Holy One, read.
They will stand in their order.
They're going to stand in their order. Read.
And never faint in their watches.
There it is. And never faint in their watches. So ain't no star going to fall from heaven. Ain't no stars ever fell. They're going to be right there where the Most High put them. They're going to never faint in their order. The order where the Most High put them, where He put them, that's where they're going to be. Forever. Okay, back to Revelation 6.
Revelation chapter
14.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together.
That's like a nuclear mushroom cloud right here. That scroll like a mushroom cloud. Read.
And every mountain and island were moved out of their place.
Every mountain, every kingdom, a small kingdom is going to be removed out of their places. Read.
And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains.
The kings of the earth and the great men, because you know they got underground tunnels. Bunkers they call them. You know,
cities.
Where they can actually think they're gonna be able to hide from the Most High. And a Mashiach Yahushua said, the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men. And every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. See? Hide themselves.
Try to get rid of that, away from that blast.
Go ahead.
Verse 16. And said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us.
Fall on us. They said fall on us, read.
And hid us from the face of him that sitteth.
And hide us.
Oh, Salaki. And hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne.
Yeah, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne. This is the throne of a Mashiach Yahushua. This is through the power of the Most High. Read.
And from the wrath of the Lamb.
And from the wrath of the Lamb. The King.
The King of Kings.
That's right. Hide us from him, please. Hide us from him. Go ahead.
Verse 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Yeah, it's coming, y'all.
That's right.
Better believe that. You said the great wrath of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua is coming. Who's going to be able to stand in that day?
That's right.
All you bad people that think you got it going on, you don't see it. Don't come crying then. It's going to be too late to cry. It's going to be too late. It's going to come a time it's going to be too late to cry. Get Revelation 1 and 7.
Revelation, the chapter 1, verse 7.
Right.
Behold, he cometh with clouds.
Mashiach Yahushua coming with the chariots of the Most High. That's the clouds. Read.
And every eye shall see him.
No, somebody gonna miss it.
And every eye shall see him.
No, because they done dug deep down in the ground in the earth. But they, like you say, got their cities down under the earth. What did he say?
And every eye shall see him.
And every eye gonna see of Mashiach Yahushua. Read.
And they also which pierced him.
They that don't want to come back to him, though they that want to believe in Caesar Borgia, they that don't want to accept him as King of Kings and Power of Powers, to the glory of the Most High. Read.
And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him.
All kindreds of the earth gonna wail because of him. Get up, Revelation 19 and 16. Well, I guess you can start at verse 13. They're gonna be wailing because of him. Why? Read.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 13.
Mashiach Yahushua, read.
And he was clothed with a vessel dripped in blood.
Dipped in blood, not dipped in blood.
Dipped in blood. Dipped in blood.
He was clothed with a vessel dipped in blood, read.
And his name is called the Word of the Most High.
His name is called the Word of the Most High. So that's what people are missing, because it's real simple. He's the Word of the Most High. So the Most High speaks a word. Then the Mashiach Yahushua hears the word, then he speaks the word to the Spirit, and the Spirit speaks to us.
That's right.
The Spirit confesses of the Mashiach Yahushua, because where does the Spirit get the word from? Mashiach Yahushua.
That's right.
Where did Mashiach Yahushua get the word from? Being the word of the Most High, he got it from the Most High.
That's right.
That order. You see? That's why he called the Word of the Most High. But see, people don't see him as the Word of the Most High. Like we was in Isaiah the 42nd chapter, 43rd chapter, where you're looking at only the Most High, but the Most High, he put all the judgment in the Mashiach Yahushua hand. What we do? We messed up from the garden, man. He made us righteous, and we said, oh, no, we want evil. All we need is the good. We didn't need no evil.
Right.
That's why he said, don't eat of the tree of good and evil.
Right.
So most I said, I'm going to my place, man, to you acknowledge your offense. Are you offended me? That's why Mashiach Yahushua going to take 1,000 years to show us of the Most High. So it's going to be no excuse. No excuse. Then the Most High going to be all in all. Mashiach Yahushua going to be set to him, then the Most High going to be all in all. Point blank. Read from the top. That's right, Lord Yah. Revelation 19 and 16.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 16.
I was at
13.
Go ahead and read 13.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 13. He was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High.
All you got to do is go to Isaiah 63rd chapter. You'll find out whose blood it is. It says his vesture will be dipped in blood. See, these are the things we got to bring this on home, because we got to repent, or else you'll be part of the destruction that's coming, the wrath of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua that's coming. Read Isaiah 63:1.
Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom?
Who is this that cometh from Edom? The biblical name for the Edomite, the so-called Caucasian race. Go ahead.
With dyed garments from Bezerah.
Basra.
Basra.
That was the capital city of Edom. Read.
Okay, come. This that is glory in his apparel.
He's glorious in his apparel, and in the garment that he have on. Read.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength. Because when you read Isaiah 47 and 3, he ain't coming as no man.
That's right.
Look, let me read it to you. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. Talking to the modern day Babylon, America. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So get this right. Now back to Isaiah 63. Greatness in his strength, because he's not coming as a man, he's coming in his angelic power. Read.
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
See, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. That's why I say there's no other Savior but me. That's the Most High.
Yeah.
But who's he using? Mashiach Yahushua. You see what I'm saying? Because he's giving him all the judgment.
Yeah.
Read.
Verse 2.
Asking the question. Read.
Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the vine?
Yeah, his garment is full of, like somebody stomping in grapes, where the grape juice is going all over the garment. Read.
And thy garments like him that treadeth in a vine bed.
Right, somebody that's stomping on grapes, you know, all the grape juice is going on his clothes. Read.
I have trodden the winepress alone.
We only hear because we ask the question, well, why does it look like, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood? Why is his garment full of blood? Read.
I have trodden the winepress alone.
So you trodden the winepress alone. Read.
And of the people there was none with me.
Of the people there was none with him. Read.
For I will tread them in my anger.
He's going to tread them in his anger. This judgment. This is how he's going to set up the kingdom. Read.
And trample them in my fury.
He's going to trample them in his fury. Come on.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. And I will stain all my raiment.
This is future prophecy. You say you're going to tread them in his anger, you're going to trample them in his fury, and say, and their blood, the Edomite's blood, shall be sprinkled upon his garments. And I will stain all my raiment, he said. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
See, the day of vengeance, that's how you're going to receive the kingdom. That's how you're going to take the kingdom. He said, the day of vengeance is mine, and the year of his redeemed, which is the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, is come. Read.
Verse 5. And I looked, and there was none to help.
Look, there was none to help. Come on.
And I wondered that there was none to uphold.
There was none to uphold. Come on.
Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me.
He said nobody was there to help him. So therefore his own arm brought salvation unto him. And my fury, it upheld him. Read. Listen at this very closely, verse 6, in case you think that it's not talking about people. It's talking about stomping in some grapes. Read.
Verse 6, and I will tread down the people in mine anger.
He said, I will tread down the people in mine anger. Read.
And make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring them, and I will bring down their strength to the earth.
He's going to bring down their strength to the earth. Man, what's their strength? Their military. That's right. Read about that in 2nd Ezra 13th chapter. Verse 9, 10, 11. Tell you you're going to burn them up. Every one of them. So ain't nothing but dust and smell of smoke. That's our power. Go back to Revelation. Verse 14 of chapter 19.
Revelation chapter 19, verse 14. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Verse 15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations.
Out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should kill the nations. Kill the nations. It don't sound like no love and happiness and joy and peace and tranquility. That he said he's gonna kill the nations. Read.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
Rod of iron is with the law.
Come.
Read.
And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the almighty powers.
Right, man. That's how he bring it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written.
So he had on his vesture, as he gonna tread down the people of Edom, and their blood will be sprinkled all over his garment. He had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written. What was that name that was written?
King of kings.
King of kings.
And power of power.
Power of powers, man. To the all glory of the Most High, man.
That's right.
That's what we talking about.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's right. Get Isaiah 45 and 22.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 22. Look unto me, and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth.
Look unto me, and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth. Read.
For I am the Most High Power, and there is none else.
That's right, man. So look up to me, and be ye saved, by coming back to the Most High. Luke 1:68. This is how we gotta be saved. And this is how we gonna be saved. Luke 1:68.
Luke chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Most High Power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people.
See? Blessed be the Most High Power of Israel. Not of every nation, but of Israel, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. For he hath visited and redeemed his people. That's why he said, the vengeance is he hath vengeance, and his redeemed is come. Right? That's what it said here. He hath visited and redeemed his people. That's the redeemed, the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
He hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
See? He raised up a horn of power of salvation for us, the children of Israel, in the house of his servant David, who was a Mashiach Thaahwam, who was of the tribe of Judah, as David was. Read.
That's right. Verse 70, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
He spoke by the prophets, which have been since the world began. What?
That he should be saved, that we should be saved from our enemies.
See, that this being saved, that we should be saved from our enemies,
and from the hand of all that hate us.
Being saved, we gotta be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us.
There it is.
There it is right there. That's being saved. That's the salvation. It's Psalms 103 and 8.
Book of Psalms, chapter 103, verse 8. The Most High is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy.
See, that's how we gotta be. See, the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenty us in mercy. But this mercy and grace I showed you last night in Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 9 is to the children of Israel. You see what I'm saying? In Wisdom of Solomon 4:15. So the Most High is merciful to Israel and gracious to Israel, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy. That means not getting something you deserve. Go ahead.
He will not always chide, neither will he
always chide. That means he will not always be against us.
No.
And argue and come against us. Read.
Neither will he keep his anger forever.
And neither will he keep his anger forever. This is what we have to look at, because how are we going to be different than the Most High, the Mashiach Thaahwam? Brothers angry and sisters angry forever.
Right.
You know, that's wrong. Read.
Verse 10, he hath not dealt with us after our sins.
So he have not dealt with us after our sins. Read.
nor rewarded us according to our iniquity.
No, rewarded us according to our iniquities, the things that we have done.